What is up, everybody? It's Cobes here, and today I am back with a Fortnite video. Today's video, I have a bracket for every epic skin. Well, not necessarily every epic skin, but I'll explain that in a second. This honestly takes so long for me to make, so if any of you can make me one of these, don't fill it all in, but just make the left and right side. And then I'll fill it in for my personal preference. But if you would like to, please send it to my Twitter and I can make a lot more of these. These are just very time consuming because it just takes so long to do in Photoshop. But we got it done and we're gonna do it today. So I think that the best way to do this, since there are so many different epic skins, if I had to guess, there's probably around like 58. We only have 32 in this bracket, so a lot of them, I'll be honest, are the skiing outfits, but even not counting the skiing outfits, I would say there's at least like 46, probably like 14 extra, maybe a little bit more, I don't know exactly. But let's just say we have the Bunny Brawler and Rabbit Raider. Well, I just put the Bunny Brawler on this list, and I'm gonna keep it in the back of my mind that the Bunny Brawler and Rabbit Raider are together. So if I like both those skins more than another skin, then I will move it on. So it's very simple, but I'll explain that throughout the rest of this video. Make sure to drop a like, subscribe, and turn on your notifications, guys. And tell me your favorite epic skin in this game as of right now. So let's get started. On the top left, we have Abstract versus Bandolier? Bandoiler? I always say Bandoiler, and I can never remember which one it is. It's Bandolier, I'm pretty sure. But for me, I think Abstract is one of the worst skins in this game. Some of these won't need very much explanation, and if I gave an explanation for each of these, this video would take forever. But Bandolier, you're moving on to the next round. I just don't like Abstract personally, and even though Abstract and Technique are together, I still like Bandolier a little bit more than both those, even if there's two of them. Now we have the Blue Striker, or the blue team, the Blue Striker, I think that's what it's called, versus the Bright Gunner. And for me, the Bright Gunner has always been a pretty ugly skin, and I'm not really gonna take into account the Bright Bag, which is an amazing back bling. That doesn't matter. I still personally don't like the Bright Gunner. I would way rather have the Blue Striker than the Bright Gunner. So he's moving on to the next round to face Bandolier. Moving on, we have the Bunny Brawler and the Rabbit Raider versus the Elite Agent and the Rogue Agent as well. The Rogue Agent will not be on this list, but he's the duo set to the Elite Agent. So for me, the Elite Agent is one of my favorite Battle Pass skins in this game. But, you know, compared to all the other skins out there, all the other possibilities of different skins, it doesn't really matter how high up a different Battle Pass skin is. Usually a skin can beat it out if it's not in the Battle Pass. It doesn't really matter. Even if I love it as a Battle Pass skin, that doesn't necessarily mean it beats it out just from like a regular item shop skin. Bunny Brawler and Rabbit Raider, I love their designs. I love the colors. And if you just look around on this list, you won't really see another skin that looks or has a similar color to the Bunny Brawler. I really like that about both those skins. You don't see too many pinks or whites in this game, just all white or all pink. That's why I have to move on to Bunny Brawler. I know the Elite Agent's such a good skin, but I can't move it on. Moving down, we have the Fireworks Team Leader versus the Gold Trooper. And honestly, if this was the Cuddle Team Leader, it would be moving on to the next round, but the Gold Trooper, I really do like. So she's moving on, and I really like the way that these brackets work because, you know, these two skins probably would have made it far on this list, but since they faced each other early on, one of them has to be knocked out. That's why I really like making these videos, and I think that's why other people like it as well, because it's just kind of random who they're facing, you know? Now we have Hazard Agent versus the Highland Warrior. And I really don't know who to give it to. Neither of these skins really appeal to me too much. The Hazard Agent, I guess, appeals to me for the color design. I really like the color on her. I think it stands out a lot in game. But I really don't like the design overall. I think it really reminds me of the astronaut suits, which are not on here, by the way, because there's just too many skins I wanted to put it in place of those. So I didn't put those in. But For me, honestly, I like the Highland Warrior. It's more of a simple design. I really am sick and tired of these like hazard agent suit or these hazmat suits or the fucking astronaut suits or any suit in this game. Get them out of my face. I don't want any more suits, all right? We're gonna go over this later in this video, so don't even be worried about it. Now we have the Huntress versus the Maverick. The Huntress is a good skin. I like the detail on her, but it's just not a skin I'll use. Really, her color design is kind of dull, and I think that takes away from the fact that she does look like a really badass chick, but I can't move her on. I have to move on Maverick, and I think Maverick is one of the cleanest designs in this game. I actually like his skin, even though it's just plain kind of, but he kind of just looks like a plumber, you know? He looks like some guy who's working at your house, either construction, he's working on the roof, or he's a plumber of some sort. I don't know, but I still like him. He's moving on. Moving on, okay, we have the Gingerbread Man versus the Alpine Ace skins and the Mogul Master skins, all the skiing outfits. Man, this one is the worst, all right? This one out of everything on this list is the worst because I love the skiing outfits and they're sort of rare at this point. I don't think they've been to the shop in quite a long time. So they're pretty rare. I really love the designs. I love them all. Like every single one of the skiing outfits I really like. Even though it kind of sucks that they didn't, you know, add in maybe a couple different skiing outfits, like a couple different characters like they did with the soccer skins, and then you can change the nationality of your skin. I thought that was a really cool idea with the soccer skins. They didn't do that with the skiing outfits, but I still like them. But the Gingerbread Man, I have to have him move on. He's such a good skin, but we'll explain that later. Moving on to Rapscallion versus the Redline and then the Burnout as well. So Rapscallion, Scoundrel, Burnout, and Redline. Redline is an amazing skin, an amazing battle pass skin, but Rapscallion, there's something about her. I love the white hair, I love the black beanie, and the black and white design all over the body looks amazing. I have to have her move on. Redline is a great skin, but it's just not moving on this time. Moving on to the top right, we have the Reef Ranger and the Wreck Raider as well with Rook, all right, against Rook. So for me, this is another one sort of similar to the hazmat suit, sort of similar to like Omega when you first get them, or Carbide when you first got them, or Omen. There's so many skins with these skin tight suits. I just don't like the design. I don't care what it is, I don't like it. I'm having Rook move on. She's just more of a simple design, but I still really like her. Moving on, we have the Royale Bomber versus Shadow Ops. And Shadow Ops with that all black design, I do like it. You know, at first I thought it was one of my favorite epic skins, but at this point in time, I feel like it's kind of been ruined by all the different black designs in this game. There's so many just all black skins that it kind of gets ruined by that. Am I the only person who thinks that? Like, we have Oblivion, we have Fate, we have Omega, we have Omen, we have the Reaper. Like, the list goes on and on. But for me, I still like Shadow Ops more than the Royale Bomber. I don't care how rare that guy is. Moving on, we have the Sledgehammer versus Sleuth. And Sleuth comes with all the detective skins. He's just my favorite. Sleuth, I really love him. I love Nor, I love Gumshoe. Not in that order, it's Sleuth, Gumshoe, Nor, just if you're curious. But I have to have Sleuth move on. I think the detective skins are really something that I wanted, and I'm glad we got them. Moving on, we have the Sparkle Specialist versus Steel Sight. Sparkle Specialist moving on immediately. Okay, now we have the Sub Commander versus the Sun Strider. Sun Strider moving on immediately. See, these ones aren't too difficult. Suntan Specialist versus Tomato Head. For me, I like the Suntan Specialist more. It's not necessarily that I like the Suntan Specialist, it's more that I hate the Tomato Head. I just personally don't like that design. I can see like the appeal to it, I can see the creativity in it, doesn't mean I'm gonna like it. Moving on, we have the Trailblazer versus Venturion and Ventura as well. Venturion's better in my opinion, but Trailblazer, one of the best epic skins in this game. I have to have her move on. For an army design, if you could have gotten this skin, if you have it, you can't get it anymore. I think this is one of the best. I think this is a go-to skin for me. Moving on, we have the Wingman versus Zoe. So the wingman, you know, he's good for the $5. You get some V-Bucks with him, you get a nice back bling. But does he beat out Zoe? I don't think so. I love Zoe's crazy zany design. She's moving on to the next round. So let's move on to the top left again. We have Bandolier versus the Blue Striker. And this is where the Blue Striker stops. He's done. Bandolier moving on. But the Blue Striker, I think if he had all of his design is blue and white, like his pants were blue and white, maybe I'll like him more. Maybe it's because, you know, I don't have PS4, so I'm kind of salty about this one. I don't care what the reasoning is. Bandolier's moving on. Okay, we have the Bunny Brawler versus the Gold Trooper. Who will take it? So the Gold Trooper is with the Skull Trooper as well, but the Skull Trooper I just don't like. I really don't. I think he's a decent skin, but I think he's very overrated, and that kind of ruins it in my mind. But Bunny Brawler and Rabbit Raider, I really love the skins. I think Gold Trooper overall is one of my favorite epic skins in this game. And really, it's difficult to explain. I know the Bunny Brawler and Rabbit Raider stand out a lot more, but if I'm going for a more simple design, which I usually do, the Gold Trooper is perfect for that. It's simple yet creative, which I like. That's why I love that skin so much. Moving on to the Highland Warrior versus Maverick. The Highland Warrior only moved on to the next round because, you know, Hazard Agent was so horrible. Maverick is moving on to the next round to face somebody. We have the Gingerbread Man versus Rapscallion. This one, you know, it might be tough in some people's minds. I know a lot of people love the Rapscallion. I do too. I'm gonna be honest, the Rapscallion could have made it in Final 8, but not this time. The Gingerbread Man, I just love his design. I really do. Moving on to the top right, we have Rook versus a Shadow Ops. So Rook, you know, a very simple design, I would say. That's how I feel about her for a Battle Pass skin. You know, she's all right. She kind of looks like she would be at a gun range, you know, shooting some shots off at her husband who beats her. That's the feeling I get. You know, she just, there's a story behind Rook. There's some sort of revenge story, and it's definitely against her husband for some reason. There's a revenge story behind Rook. But does she beat out Shadow Ops, who already took revenge on her husband and murdered that motherfucker? Nah, she doesn't. I'm sorry. Moving on to Sleuth versus oh god, guys, I just thought about something funny. So, you know, on a complete side note, so I recently, I'm getting my license revoked on the 16th, and I'm also joining a new partnership on the 16th. So, you know, the good and the bad, I guess, whatever. Life, there's something there. There's some sort of life lesson there. We have Sleuth versus Sparkle Specialist. So, this one's a tough one. You know, Sleuth is a great detective skin. I really like the detail on Sleuth. You might not think it's very detailed, but I personally think the jacket design is pretty detailed. His skin is detailed. His face is really detailed as well. He's got that like broken nose, but Sparkle Specialist, there's just something about her that I love, and she has to move on to the next round. She is my favorite Battle Pass skin in this game. Moving on to the Sunstrider versus the Suntan Specialist. The Sunstrider easily moving on. It's kind of weird how this worked out. I didn't necessarily plan this. I don't know why I added both of them on this list, but that's what happened. Sunstrider is definitely a great skin. She stands out like a ton. Comparing it to all these other skins who are in the Final 8, she really stands out with that color red. Moving on to Trailblazer versus Zoe. So these are two completely different skins. One's really colorful. One's got that military kind of plain army design. I think, personally, I go with the more simple design most of the time. Trailblazer moving on to the next round. Now we're moving on to the top left. The Bandolier being on this list at this point, that's wild. See, that just wouldn't work out most of the time. But going against Gold Trooper, this one, I'm sorry to say, it's an easy one. Gold Trooper, on to the next round. Maverick versus Gingerbread Man. Are you fucking kidding me? This is another crazy one, how this worked out. Gingerbread Man moving on to the next round. Shadow Ops versus Sparkle Specialist. Are you kidding me? Sparkle Specialist easily moving on to the next round. Sun Strider versus the Trailblazer. Trailblazer moving on to the next round. See, you can really tell that this is completely random because those final 8, you know, 4 of them are my favorites. 4 of them are in my probably top 10 because, you know, maybe if Trailblazer went against another skin on the left side, she would have lost. But since she was on the right side and she had a bunch of easy competition, she won easily. She's in the final 4 easily. Would I say she's in final 4? I don't know. I really don't. Would I say Gold Trooper's in final 4? If she went against Sparkle Specialist, she probably would have lost. I really don't know. So let's move on. Gold Trooper versus Gingerbread Man. For me personally, I love Gingerbread Man's design. There's just something so perfect about it. I love the festive themes in this game, whether it be the Gold Trooper for being a Halloween skin, whether it be the Bunny Brawler for being an Easter skin, whether it be Gold Trooper for being a Christmas skin. I love the festive designs. I like it more than Gold Trooper. He's moving on to the semi-finals. Or wait, no, that's the finals. The finals. All right. We have the Sparkle Specialist versus Trailblazer. For me, Sparkle Specialist easily better. One of my favorite skins in this game. One of my favorite epic skins. I'd place her top 10 overall. So these two, you know, in the championship are my 2 favorite skins. Are the surrounding skins my top 10? Not necessarily. I would say definitely not for epics. So we have the Gingerbread Man, the festive design versus the Sparkle Specialist. Just, I don't know, wonderful design. Guys, I'm sorry to do it to you. This might get boring, but Gingerbread Man, easy winner. This is still my favorite skin in this game. If he comes back out though, I will admit, if I were to remake this list and Gingerbread like was widely owned by a ton of people, maybe I wouldn't like him as much. I really hope that's not the case, but Gingerbread Man's design, I love it. I honestly love the design. I don't know though, because I used to love the Red Knight. I loved her, you know, I wanted her so badly. But once everyone got her, man, it just ruined it for me. But we'll see if that happens. We'll see if that's the case for the Gingerbread Man. Thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you guys did enjoy. I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye-bye.